Jonah Vasquez is the most unlucky survivor in Dead by Daylight. According to Nightlight.gg, survivors who play as Jonah have a 37.3% chance of escaping, which is a little bit below the overall average of 44.2%, though this isn't that far behind the next two unluckiest survivors, who are Yoichi and Nicolas, who both have a 40% chance of escaping. But this makes me wonder why. Jonah does have a really low pick rate of only 0.5%. His most used builds are either just his perks, Overcome, Corrective Action, and Boon Exponential, or no build at all. And then for those of you who don't know how Jonah's perks work, here's a quick explanation. Overcome is an exhaustion perk. When hit by the killer, it extends the duration of your speed boost by 2 seconds and leaves you exhausted for 40 seconds. Corrective Action is for working on generators. You start the trial with 3 tokens. Whenever you succeed at a great skill check, you gain 1 token with a maximum of 5. If another survivor working on a generator fails a skill check, you consume a token and it's converted into a good skill check. You can see the auras of survivors who have failed skill checks for 6 seconds. Boon Exponential is like Unbreakable but for totems. After blessing a totem, any survivor within the totem's radius has a 100% bonus to recovery speed, and you can recover as many times as you can before bleeding out. What these builds suggest to me is that most players who use Jonah are either going for the Adept challenge or a player creator challenge called the Grand Master Adept. The first challenge is an official DBD achievement and has one for every character in the game. For survivors, it's escape a match using their 3 dedicated perks. For killers, it's to get 4 kills only using the killer's dedicated perks. The second challenge is a fan-made challenge that is generally more popular for killer players than survivors, but it's effectively the same concept except no perks are allowed to be used. So survivors must escape using no perks and killers must get a 4K using no perks. I don't know if there's other names for this, but I've always heard it called Grand Master Adept. Jonah being used primarily by achievement hunters is also supported by the fact that his Adept build is the most used build by a comparatively large margin. That build has a pick rate of 3%. The no build has a pick rate of just under 1%, and from there the builds drop about 0.25% each build down. If we compare Jonah to the luckiest survivor, Cheryl Mason, it almost seems like Jonah's perks are the problem. Like Jonah, it seems players who use Cheryl are also achievement hunters. Cheryl has an escape rate of over 48%. Her most popular build is also her 3 perks, Blood Pact, Repressed Alliance, and Soul Guard. Blood Pact works around the obsession mechanic. When either you or the obsession are injured, Blood Pact activates. You can see each other's auras, and if you heal the obsession or they heal you, you both gain 7% haste as long as you stay within 16 meters of each other. Repressed Alliance is the generator perk. After working on a generator for 45 seconds, you can activate it. Activating this perk blocks the generator for 30 seconds and is shown to all survivors in white. Soul Guard at base gives you the endurance status for 8 seconds after being healed from the dying state. If there's an active hex totem, you have the ability to pick yourself up. For both these effects, there is a 30-second cooldown. Compared to what Jonah perks do, Cheryl's perks offer a lot more survivability, especially Soul Guard, as it counters 2 popular killer metas right now, hex builds and slugging. Repressed Alliance is also helpful against gen regression, whether it's just stopping a killer from kicking your gen altogether, or even preventing gen regression perks from working like Eruption. Whereas Jonah, you either get a short-term game with Overcome, or are only beneficial when you're working with a bad player with Corrective Action. Or with Jonah's boon, it's not only is it limited to a specific area of the map, killers can snuff it and teammates can break totems before you can bless them, making it either a huge time waster or just straight up useless in a match. What do you guys think? What do you think makes Jonah such an unlucky survivor? Is it his perks, his rarity in the player base, or something else entirely? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe so I can bring you more Dead by Daylight content.